In a happy land, where clocks sounded like singing birds, lived a tiny second named Tick. But Tick wasn't like the other seconds. He didn't like just counting really fast. Tick wanted to have exciting adventures instead. One sunny morning, as the big hand on the clock pointed proudly at 8:30, Tick noticed a group of minutes huddled together, whispering excitedly. "What are you all up to?" Tick squeaked. "We're planning a grand race," chirped a minute named Dash. "A race all the way around the clock face." Tick's little heart thumped like a drum. A race. This was exactly the adventure he'd been hoping for. But then he looked at his small self and felt a bit unsure. Can a little second like me even join? The minutes looked at each other. Well, Dash pondered. The race starts in exactly a dozen seconds. That's a very long time for a second. But before Dash could finish, Tick was bouncing with excitement. A dozen seconds. That was like forever for a little second. He knew just what to do. The big hand went bong. It was 9 o'clock, and the race was on. The minutes, with their tall legs, zipped way ahead of Tick. But Tick was a clever little second. He didn't try to run all the way across the giant clock face. Instead, because he was so small, he could do something special. Tick, like a tiny mouse, zigzagged between the long legs of the minute hands. He looked for every little hiding spot and shortcut on the clock. Zoom. He squeezed between the numbers. Bowing. He bounced off the second hand as it whipped by him. He even used the curvy thingy that makes the hands move like a jumping board. The minutes were focused on running super fast, so they didn't even see how clever Tick was being. They just whooshed by Tick again and again, getting more and more tired with each trip around the clock. Meanwhile, Tick was like a happy little rocket, zooming all over the clock with his adventurous spirit burning bright. He was having the most fun ever. Then, just as the big hand was getting close to 10 o'clock, a tiny flash of bright red zipped past the finish line. It was Tick. The minutes gasped in disbelief. "A second won the race?" exclaimed Dash. Tick grinned from ear to ear. "See," he squeaked proudly. "Being small can be super helpful sometimes." From that day on, whenever the clock chimed, everyone remembered Tick, the little second who won the race. He became a super cool hero, showing everyone that even the tiniest person can do amazing things if they're clever and brave. So next time you hear a clock ticking, listen closely. You might just hear the happy tick-tock of a tiny second, reminding you that big adventures can happen to anyone, no matter how small.